You'll see that screen.
I was going to say.
It'd be nice, I'll be over there sitting next to you.
You sat here this morning.
I did.
You know, we're just trading.
Are you gonna stay there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you.
You staying out of the blue?
I was going to say, you
standing
can.
light.
I need separation between the lawyer and myself.
That's right, you need buffer zone.
As loud as I
We
am.
call it buffer zone. We call it a no-fly zone.
Yes, ma'am.
Fly zone.
We got your back there.
Thank you.
He's got me straight.
Spin zone.
Got my back. You're supposed to be in front of me.
Man of the hour.
Someday, maybe. Someday, maybe.
Okay, Rob, are we ready?
We're ready. Quorum
Okay.
has been achieved.
Okay.
Corner four.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Directors for PPRTA for January 13th. I call it to order. And we do have a quorum. In your agenda, I do want to draw your attention to item 12. There will not be a need for an executive session today, so that I'd like to remove from the agenda. With that change, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Let's go on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak to the board at this time? Not seeing anyone, we'll move forward with that as well. We have here a resolution that I'd like to read for all of you. And this is a resolution by the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority Board of Directors acknowledging and appreciation to the City of Manitou Springs Director Mark Snyder. Dated January 13, 2016, says, whereas the City of Manitou Springs is a member government of the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority, and whereas Mark Snyder served as a City of Manitou Springs council member from 2006 to 2010, and when he served as an alternate board of directors, on the PPRTA, and he also served as City of Manitou Springs mayor from 2010 to 2015, and represented the City of Manitou Springs on the PPRTA Board of Directors from 2010 and to 2015. And whereas City of Manitou Springs Director Mark Snyder has served the citizens of the City of Manitou Springs in the Pikes Peak region with distinction, now therefore be it resolved, the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority Board of Directors wishes to acknowledge their deepest gratitude to the City of Manitou Springs Director Mark Snyder for his commitment to regional transportation planning and projects, and for his wise counsel, and for his dedication to the advancement of the transportation projects of the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority. Resolved, approved, and adopted by the Board of Directors of the Pikes Peak Region, Pikes Peak Rural Transit Authority this 13th day of January 2016, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Well, this is a resolution we have, and is there a motion to accept
Move
this?
to accept it.
Second.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And Mark, on a very close unanimous vote, would you come up, please?
I know.
I'll give you a copy of the resolution.
Thank you very
But
much.
we also have this very fancy
Wow,
card
look at that.
that you can use. And there was it was mentioned that if you ever run for office again, this might come in handy.
Yeah. You should give me one of these when you first get it. Absolutely.
Mark, it's been great to serve you. I've been honored to serve with you, and I know the entire board feels that way. Thank you for your great service, not only to Manitou, but the entire Pikes Peak region.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Bob.
you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to take my last opportunity here at the microphone, with your indulgence, Mr. Chair, to say a few things. First, I'd like to introduce everybody to Nicole Nicoletta, the new mayor of Manitou Springs. And Nicole, I don't know if you're amenable to it. You might want to grab a name tag and grab a seat up here somewhere, because
Come on up.
there's no grace period in this business. It starts right off. And
Nicole, we've saved a spot for you right here.
And I know this will make Kathleen Krager really happy, but I've been asked to stay on as a special transportation advisor for Manitou Springs, just to work with you more further, Kathleen. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought Kathleen might appreciate that, because we've had some very vigorous discussions over the years. But this is a great organization. This RTA has just been one of the true unqualified success stories in our region. And I think we talked about it this morning with the new dynamic in transportation funding, especially at the state level, just how much of a real head start it's given us in partnering with the state and with other entities in getting local transportation projects done. And this, very rarely do you see a tax extension pass with the numbers that we did just a few years ago for RTA2. So it is absolutely a great collaboration, and we've done a lot of great things, and I really appreciate your kind words and this lovely parting gift that I have here, and this wonderful proclamation that you all did for me. So keep up the good work, and who knows, you may yet see me around in some form or another. If nothing else, I'll be standing right here railing at you on some issue I'm sure, at some point. So thank you all very
Mark.
much. You're very kind.
Thank you. All right,
Mark, it's just too bad they didn't give you that hard hat before they started beating on you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It would have been a lot more handy there to start with.
In your packet, you have a copy of the board meeting minutes for December 9th. Is there any corrections, additions, or is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
All right. Any other comments, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right. Moving forward, let's go through the board appointments and administrative actions. Rick, if you'll lead us through this process, I would appreciate it.
Good afternoon. Rick Sonnenberg, Pikes Peak RTA Program and Contracts Manager. You have 4 items to take care of in the business of this item. The first one would be to mention where we have not, or where the board has not been informed, where the board directors have been appointed for 2016 from their respective governing bodies. City of Colorado Springs, we've been informed that the board directors are the same. We've just been advised regarding Manitou. But I don't know that we've heard from the others. Oh, we do have an email from RAMA that's indicating that Turner Smith is the alternate and Dennis Carpenter is the primary director. So have the other 2 decided?
Yeah, go ahead. Tyler, go ahead.
We will not be having our second meeting in January, so it'll be our first meeting in February, and then so probably prior to our February meeting of the RTA, we'll be able to provide that. But
Okay.
Okay, so that means we're stuck with you until that time, right? Yeah.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's a good thing.
Makes one of us. Feels that way.
I think we're going to have it on our agenda next week.
On the 19th, yes.
On the 19th.
Okay,
Next Tuesday.
all right,
Okay,
good.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first item of business. Then the 3 elections for the 3 officers. The board chair, according to the board bylaws, must be a county director. The board vice chair must be a City of Colorado Springs director, and then there's the board secretary. So
Okay.
need to have those 3 selections.
Let's have nominations for the chair, and it needs to come from the county. Ms. Peggy?
So I would like to nominate Dennis Heisey.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, are there any other nominations? All in favor of Dennis Heisey is, yes,
Dennis is obviously not here.
Right.
that'll teach him.
That's
Beautiful
why he's not
time to nominate him, and so we're very pleased to do so.
I bet he'll never miss a meeting
We'll
again.
never miss that.
So,
All in favor of Dennis Heisey as chair, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Vice Chair is from the City of Colorado Springs. Larry?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Burv Bennett as Vice Chair.
Is there any? All right. Is there any other nominations? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay.
Are you a willing participant?
I'm a willing participant.
You're willing to chair today.
I agreed to do this because, Vice Chair, is because I'm on the mayor's 2C task force, and this gives continuity of communication, and we felt that would be helpful, although my colleagues could do just a great job as well, but because of that interconnection is the reason that we did that. Let's go to the secretary.
That has routinely been Rob McDonald.
Okay. Reb has put me up to open it up to the audience, but he did that. I said, "You've got a touch of the Henri," and he said, "It's bigger than a touch." Is there a nomination?
So moved.
All right.
If you can take nominations from, I'd nominate Rob.
Oh, okay. Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Is there any others that we need to do, or does that do it?
That's all.
All right, thank you. As vice chair, I will continue with the meeting since the chair is no longer here. That's okay to the group. Okay. Let's go to the Citizens Advisory Committee monthly report. Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Chair. Jim Godfrey, Chair of the Citizens Advisory Committee.
Vice Chair now.
Vice Chair, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry. First, I'd like to add on behalf of the CAC our appreciation for the support that Mayor Snyder has provided the CAC over the years, and so we'd like to that. And to Mayor Nicoletta, welcome. The CAC meeting elections went similar to your elections.
Do you hear the railroad coming down,
yeah.
the train coming down?
Yeah, I heard the train are coming, yeah. I was elected, re-elected as chair, Reb was elected as vice chair, and Mr. Jim Egbert stepped up as the second vice chair, only because Cindy Tompkins wasn't there, and we didn't want to do to her what you just did to Dennis. So, but anyway, so those are the new officers for the CAC for the coming year. As far as business, the City of Colorado Springs brought forward 3 contracts. We had discussions about those. There were no comments, and we recommend approval of the city contracts that we reviewed. I understand they may have a 4th one today, which we have not seen.
Okay.
El Paso County had 3 contracts, and we make a recommendation for approval of those as well. Can I go on to the annual CAC report as well? You or me wait?
I'd like you to wait, if you would. Is that all of your report?
That's all of our report.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the report from the CAC?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Next on the agenda would be your annual report. Don't get too far.
I didn't know whether you want to skip down and wait until you got it on your report. The CAC we did have discussion about, as customary, the CAC provides a summary of our activities over the year in form of an annual report to the board. We reviewed that report, and it's being recommended for acceptance by the board as submitted to you in that report. It summarizes the activities, and as customary over the last couple of years, we've also asked for unsolicited comments from members of the CAC to submit their own personal opinions. Those in that report are as submitted to us. Those are those members. They're unattributable, so they're unanimous in terms of who submitted those, but they do represent the views of the individuals that submitted them.
Okay. Any comments or questions regarding the annual report from the CAC? Anybody in the audience like to speak to this? Okay, is there a motion to accept this annual report? Okay.
So moved.
And a second? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, good, thanks. Well, let's go to Good News Bev, and she'll bring our, that's her name. It's been that way all year long.
market is right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. What
We're
goes
not-
up must come down, right? So for November sales and use tax, we received $6,982,000. Compared to budget, we were almost $450,000 ahead monthly, or 0.9%. And we're ahead going into the last month of the year by $4.8 million, or 6.5%. On the second page, this is a comparison between this year and last year, and as you can see, we are ahead so far, almost $5.3 million, or 7%. The next pages just have the revenue and expense summary, and then the final page is the balance sheet. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Bev?
Okay.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? Okay. Well, this is for information only. Thanks, Bev.
Thank you.
And we expect good news next month, too, now. You've built expectations here. Good job. All right, the 2016 capital maintenance and public transportation contracts. Let's start with the City of Colorado Springs.
Good afternoon, Mike Chavez, City Engineering. I've got 3 contracts for your review and approval today. First one, we have a design contract for the preliminary design of the widening of the academy over the Cottonwood Creek. That also is a project we're partnering with Parks to connect the trail there somehow. So the first phase that we're seeking approval is for CP&Y to do alternatives analysis to see what's the best way to get a trail crossing there. And then from there, they'll move on the final design. Next one is a change order to close out the construction contract for Lawrence on the Austin Bluffs widening. This is kind of the final quantity adjustment, and we came under budget that, and we are going to have a surplus that will be coming back to the board to do something with.
Okay.
And the third one is the grant project for the creek improvements under Vincent Drive. That project's been extended because of the severe rain the contractor was fighting. So they've kind of gone into this winter for construction, and this is just to extend core engineering for their construction management.
Okay. And I believe these were all recommended for approval by the CAC. Is there any comments or questions regarding these? Is there a motion to approve? Okay,
Second.
is there a second? Okay. Anybody in the audience like to speak to this? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Thanks, Mike. Did you want to deal with the fourth one?
Yeah, I'll just briefly touch. So last month, several contracts were approved for renewal, mostly maintenance and concrete and asphalt work. This contract for basically for the trip elimination sidewalk work was approved with a no dollar value at the time. So Street Division is looking to get that reapproved with a dollar value of $150,000 for this year.
Okay. So does Jim, did you want to speak to this?
Yeah, Jim Godfrey, CAC. I think Rev and I want to just make sure, Mike, this firm was on the list of approved contractors for the city?
Yes.
It is? And so is this a new contract
No, it's
with them, or is it a renewal of the existing work?
Welcome, Corey.
Hello, everyone. Corey Farkas, City Streets Division. No, this is Precision Concrete is a company we've been using for several years now to do the trip mitigation. We had a $0 contract last year. We didn't want to get rid of them, but we had our dollars going into paving and some of the larger programs. So we didn't have this program last year. Kept them on with that $0 contract, and then this year with 2C coming aboard and everything, it's a really inexpensive way to go through some neighborhoods and mitigate some trip hazards. So we want to bring that program back now, and the contract was extended. It was extended with the $0 value. And now that we've got our program set, we just want to put the dollar value to it.
Okay.
Rev? I think we're going to lean towards that, but you got a comment?
One question, is there any significant increase in cost per yard?
No.
Okay, I think based on what we know, I think the consensus, we'll go back to the CAC and reaffirm that, but I think we would be okay with extending this contract at this point.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval. Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the county, El Paso County.
Good afternoon, John Clack, El Paso County Public Services Department. We have 3 contracts for your consideration today. These are all maintenance contracts, and all 3 of them are renewals. The first one is for Rocky Mountain Asphalt. This is for our overlay contract. This is the first of 4 renewals, and we are requesting a purchase order in the amount of $4 million. The second one is for AA Construction Company. This is the second of 3 possible renewals. They do concrete work for us that includes things like curb, gutter, sidewalk, and preparation for for our overlay contract. We are requesting a purchase order in the amount of $1,885,000 for that. And the last one is for American Pavement Solutions. This is the first of 4 renewals, and this would be for our crack seal contract. And we are requesting a purchase order in the amount of $225,000.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Any questions? I believe these have also been approved and recommended by the CAC.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second? Okay. Any other discussion in the audience? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's move to other reports. City Transit Services Monthly Update. Thought I saw you come in.
I'm here. Good afternoon, Craig Blewett, Transit Services Manager with the City of Colorado Springs. We have our report in your agenda, and just a couple things to highlight. Continuing strong ridership in all of our services. The local fixed route service had an increase of about 7% over last year. Our ADA paratransit service had about a 5% decrease compared to last year for the same month of November, and Vanpool had a slight increase. So all kind of within normal variations, and with fixed route, as we continue to add service, we continue to gain ridership. So something we're very happy about. In terms of projects, the lead story there is that we have our proposed spring service changes. With our budget for 2016, we're proposing some changes. The changes really are intended to accomplish 3 things. One is we are adding 15-minute frequent service on the Nevada corridor between UCCS and Southgate. Second set of changes really are to improve on-time performance of the buses. And the third type of changes is really just the general category of just trying to serve the community better. We have the dates and locations of our 6 public meetings in your agenda. If you want to see the service changes, the best and easiest way to do that is go to mmtransit.com. That's a shortcut to the city webpage, city transit webpage, but mmtransit.com has maps and verbal descriptions of the proposed changes, and would certainly welcome folks to look at that and give us any feedback that you'd like. We take all the comments seriously. We do give them due consideration as we recommend our final changes and go forward.
Great, thanks. Are there any questions for Craig? Yes. Commissioner?
Craig, just a question as it relates to the Citizen Service Center, that route, and I can't remember the route number. I haven't been here for a while. So can you talk about how frequently you're running buses to the Citizen Service Center for El Paso County on Garden of the Gods Road?
Sure. That is the service from the downtown terminal runs every 30 minutes now. There's 2 separate routes that serve the Citizen Center, and so you can get there on any half hour. And then there's also service east-west along 34 along Austin Bluffs that also serves the Citizen Center.
And I know there was, and I apologize because I don't normally serve as a primary to this board, but in terms of getting folks who might have disabilities or, to an area that's probably more convenient than at the top of the hill and having to struggle to get down the hill, have there been any movements as to be able to get any of the buses in a little bit closer for some of those folks?
We were looking at that at one time because we had an on-time performance issue with Route 14, I believe it was. That issue has actually been resolved, and so we don't need to cut the route short. We did some other things in terms of how the 34 and 14 work together. So we were looking at making a route change to make that the end of the line, and when you have an end of the line, you need to turn the bus around.
Right.
So we're going to use that as a turnaround. But since we've solved our on-time performance, we'd rather just run up and down the major road like our typical service.
Good. Do you do rider surveys pretty frequently, or when would your next rider survey come up? I'd just be curious as to see how our folks that are coming to and from the Citizen Service Center are utilizing that particular route.
That'll be this year. During this current calendar year, we will have that passenger survey.
Okay, and so what time of year?
I don't know.
December or June
Well,
or May, or when will that happen?
It's usually during a typical rider month, and so we do have seasonal variation. You can see that in the ridership that we have. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but it's going to be during a typical rider month.
What's a typical rider month?
It probably most likely would be late spring, summertime.
Okay.
I can double check and we can get back to you.
So I
on
think
that one.
the commissioners would appreciate having that information
You bet.
as to how people are getting to and from the Citizen Service Center. I know there have been some concerns about, of course, right now all the congestion because of Fillmore being closed and everyone's taking Garden of the Gods. It's been a little bit congested there at certain times of the day. So just understanding how that's working and what our ridership looks like would be helpful for us.
Sure, we can look at the boardings and lightings at that location, time of day, all those kinds of things. An important point is that anybody who, because of their disability, cannot use our fixed route bus system, they will be eligible to use our door-to-door paratransit system. So I guess one of the questions there in looking at the Citizen Center is to see how many passengers are arriving by bus and how many are arriving by our paratransit system would be a good indicator of how well things are working.
And you can get that information?
Yes.
Okay. One other question, if I might, Mr. Chair. How are you doing with regard to the maintenance of effort on the transit system, and where that stands right now with the city's budget?
Yeah, as of a year ago, we were $1.4 million under that maintenance of effort level. I think the maintenance of effort level is $5.7 million, and we were at 4.3. Current budget, we're at 5.1, so we've made up $800,000 of the $1.4 million shortfall.
The mayor has promised that when we have this meeting a year from now, there won't be a maintenance of effort issue.
Okay.
It's a two-step approach.
I know it's been an ongoing concern for PPRTA, so that's why I asked.
And the mayor has addressed it aggressively.
Okay, thanks.
We are scheduled, I think, Rick, for doing our maintenance of effort reports at next month's board meeting, so you'll be seeing that report in your agenda for next month.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Any
you.
other comments or questions? Anybody in the audience have any comments or questions? All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Craig. Craig, how's your recovery going?
Every day's better.
You look good.
Yeah,
You
thanks.
look really good. Craig had, for those of you who knew, had hip replacement surgery, and I think he's doing awesome. So let's go to El Paso County monthly change order and property acquisition report. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Board. Jennifer Irvin, El Paso County. This is our one item for this month. This is related to a 2004 capital project, County Line Road. We have a small change order request in the amount of about $3,900. We are closing out all of the contracts for County Line Road, and this is one of them. We had some additional work that we needed. The contractor went a little bit longer to close it out because of weather, the project, so we needed assistance from the construction manager a little bit longer. So this is about $3,900. We do expect to bring some other contracts, our Mountain View Electric, some utilities next month or the month thereafter, showing some savings. So as with any projects, on some of the contracts you're a little bit higher, and on some of them you're a little bit lower. So.
Good. Thanks, Jennifer. Yes, Commissioner?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. So just to recap, since we're kind of closing this out and it's a finished project now, or a project that's done, how much did Douglas County end up helping out with that for their side of the road?
As far as the construction contract, nothing. They did do a great job in obtaining 2 or 2 or 3 properties for us, and I think dealing directly with those properties, especially the one that has the Greenland Preserve, in regards to that difficult conservation easement on that, they really helped us out that way. What I would also say about County Line Road is that this is a phase that El Paso County did. There was another phase that Douglas County did, I would say probably around in 2003, 2004, which was significant. And at that time, El Paso County just did a small contribution to that project. So
we're 50-50, we're balanced.
I think so.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Thanks, Jennifer.
As much as possible.
Any other comments or questions for Jennifer?
Yep.
Anybody in the audience? Okay, Jennifer, thank you very much. Let's go to the monthly status reports. Rick?
Be allowed to you.
That's for information only.
Information only, showing that the $4.790 million is still unassigned from the PPRTA 1 capital projects, waiting for city and county staff members to come forward and recommend how to spend that when the time is ripe.
Great. You want to go with the maintenance of effort report, too?
Sure. This is information only. It's just a reminder that next month that the member government staffs will be submitting their maintenance of effort reports for CAC and board meeting for the February cycle.
All right. Any questions?
If I may?
Yes, please.
So the net amount for the 2005 to 2014, that is there because nobody, like you said, you were just waiting for people to come forward with a proposal or a project, or is that really all is a matter of?
There are plenty of projects to request that, and plenty of room within existing contracts. It's just a matter of negotiation between city and county staffs as to how they want to allocate it between very needy city projects and very needy county projects.
And it's my understanding that that these dollars are the funds that have been allocated to the county and the city, Colorado Springs?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Anybody in the audience? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
Do those have to be allocated to off-highway or on those funds?
They have to be allocated to the voter-approved capital list because they're capital funds.
Okay.
Okay. Good question.
So that could be a mix of the two. Yeah, I see.
A mix of...
Well, it'd be your capital, your A-list projects then.
Yes, A-list city and A-list county projects from the first ballot measure.
Good. I think Kathleen has something she'd like to share.
Can we debate who's more needy?
Kathleen Krager, Transportation Manager for Colorado Springs. I wanted to remind the board members and let new board members know that probably over a year ago now, the board decided that any excess funds from PPRTA 1, instead of going on to the B list, should be spent on the North Mark Shuffle project. And we are simply waiting to see if any of the current projects that are being finished are going to need more money to finish them, because I'd hate to leave them unfinished because we've taken the last money. And then whatever money is truly excess, we will put on doing improvements on North Mark Shuffle.
Okay. Remember, North Mark Shuffle has county and city implications.
It does.
Yeah. So, yes, Jennifer?
Jennifer Irvin, El Paso County. I'll just note that we continually coordinate every month with the city on projects and the remaining projects, and we've been working very hard and diligently with each other to make sure that as we move forward, we come to you with a recommendation as to how to spend those remaining monies. But we do have lots of projects going on that are large dollar, and like Kathleen says, we want to make sure that we are in a good position when we make a recommendation so that those projects are finished, so.
Thanks,
I just want to
Jennifer.
tell you how much
Well-
I appreciate working with the city and Kathleen, and it's been a pleasure.
Well, and you know, I think the citizens are the real winners when there's that type of cooperation that takes place. So, thank you for that. All right, let's go to the designation of posting places for meeting notices.
The board's bylaws requires that the posting places for meeting notices be designated annually. The board in all previous years has designated 2 locations for meeting notices, and that's the front bulletin board of the PPAC building upstairs and the PPRTA website. This is an action item which needs a motion, please.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Well, you got a quick approval on that one, Rick.
Pretty
Yes.
controversial.
All right, let's go to the staff field review report.
This is an information item, and I'll answer any questions you might have.
This was in our packets. Any questions that anybody has on this field review? No. Okay. All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rick. There's not an executive session, but Jennifer would like to speak to us, and we would like to hear from her.
Yeah, no major report, no action item today under number 13. Just an update that the trial has been set for September 9th, 2016. So we have several months before we'll really have any activity to report to you. We will continue to have this on the agenda just in case anything comes up, but I will keep the board updated on a monthly basis as to progress.
And Jennifer, we have 2 new board members here today. Could you explain what the trial is about?
That would probably be helpful for them, wouldn't it? We have a litigation, ongoing litigation with Walmart and Sam's Club over the collection of sales tax at the new development up in the city of Fountain. The background there is that the area was in the PPRTA when the PPRT boundaries were set. Later, it was annexed into the city of Fountain. There's a question of law or fact as to how that statute is to be interpreted, whether the sales tax drops off with the annexation into Fountain, or, as we believe, that the sales tax stays on that property. So at this point, the sales tax is being collected from that property. The RTA sales tax is. Their contention is that it should not be, so that's what the litigation is about. So at this point, we've set the trial, and we're really in the very preliminary stages at this point. We have a special counsel that's been engaged, Peter Forbes out of Denver. Forum for this is in Denver because it also involves the Department of Revenue, so that's why we're up in Denver. And he's been working on that and briefing general counsel, and I've been briefing you on a monthly basis. And once things get going a bit more, I'm sure we'll see Peter here again for a report to the board.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Is the RTA receiving those funds, or are they being set aside?
They are being received. I will look at Bev. We haven't, it's it's new money, so I don't think it's been spent on projects yet, but I would let Bev speak to that.
We've received it since it started, and there's just no difference between that and the rest of the sales and use tax that we receive.
This is a property on the northwest corner of Academy Boulevard and I-25. And it was in the county, and there was a flagpole annexation 8 miles up I-25 from Fountain. And Fountain is not a part of the PPRTA, so that's where this emanated from. But the reality is, PPRTA paid for the extension and widening of Academy Boulevard and the cuts that is servicing that area, and so we feel it's appropriate that it continue to be there because they have received the benefits of the improvements that PPRTA has done. Is that a fair way of summarizing it?
It is a fair political summary, and we legally think that the statute reads that it stays within. So.
Okay. All right. Is there any other comments about that? All right. Is there any member announcements from PPRTA? If not, then yes.
Just some folks here might be aware of it. Our Citizens Outreach Group is working on putting together a town hall meeting between City Council and the Board of County Commissioners. That's on the 27th, 2 weeks from now, Wednesday evening, the 27th at 6 o'clock at Regional Building. And just trying to make that a very open format so that folks, we'll have some things to be specific about when we start it off, but very open format for folks to come in and talk to City
And that's the
Council members.
27th of this month.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Okay.
commissioners together.
All right. And, you know, before we dismiss, Mayor, congratulations and welcome. It's good to have you here as part of the team. And Mark was a great addition. We think you'll be awesome. So thank you very much. We're glad to have you here with us. Anything else for the good of the group?
Your first meeting.
All right, we're adjourned.
Been to plenty lately.
Wow.
That was I'm asking what my
You're getting quicker and quicker. Wasn't last week?
This is brand new with the city, and that was impressive. Yeah. That's a 30. What do you get?